There are several details that most people miss when watching Attack on Titan. From Easter eggs to almost spoilerish foreshadowing, these details show the amount of care that went into crafting the story. Let's take a look at 30 details most people missed in the first season. At the start of the series, when Eren is sleeping under the tree, he sees an older Mikasa telling him that she will see him later. But this part of the dream from the manga was never shown in the first episode of the anime. However, once the manga ended and the foreshadowing of this line became obvious, it was added to the first part of the final chapters of the anime. When Grisha tells Eren that he will show him what he had been hiding in the basement, his face is not shown in the anime. But in the manga, you can clearly see the shock on his face when he sees something else. And that something else turns out to be Eren from the future, who is revisiting his father's memories with Zeke. After Eren hurts his head when trying to balance himself and maneuver gear, you can see steam coming from his head as his injury is being healed by his Titan powers.
Eren! 気にしても仕方ないよ。明日できるようになればいいんだから。
The real reason Reiner helps a struggling Armin during one of their training missions is because he understands Armin's struggle, since he had been in that situation himself, back when he was a warrior candidate. When Reiner tries to lecture Annie about taking things seriously during their time as trainees, Annie becomes extremely angry at him. But the real reason for that is their long-standing grudge since the death of Marcel. The reason Eren is able to push through the Colossal Titan's steam is the fact that he is a Titan shifter, and his body keeps healing the burns from the steam. The pure Titans invading Trost are Grisha's friends from the Eldian Restoration movement back when he was in Marley. The Azumabito tattoo that Mikasa had in the manga was replaced with a piece of embroidery that her mother teaches her in the anime. However, the tattoo is restored in the final season once its meaning was revealed.
この印は死んだ母の一族から受け継いできたものです。
After Connie fails to kill one of the Titans in the supply room, Annie kills it and saves his life. Reiner comments that he is glad she did not get hurt, because it will be difficult for her to remain undercover once the wound heals after a transformation. When giving his Titan to Eren, Grisha tells him that his memories will tell him how to use it. What Grisha probably meant is Eren will be guided by his memories of the future, which is what happens once he kisses Historia's hand. After witnessing the fear and distrust of humans, Eren indirectly says that humans are one of their enemies, which ends up being true with almost everyone outside the walls hating the people of Paradis. Pixis tells Eren that before Titans existed, humans fought wars against each other due to racial differences, and this turned out to be true under the reign of the Eldian Empire. Pixis also talks about humanity uniting against a common bigger enemy, which is what happens with the Survey Corps and the warriors uniting to stop the rumbling. During his address to the soldiers outside Trost, Pixis talks about how humans killing each other would be the thing that causes humanity to perish, which is what almost ends up happening. In the second OP of the series, there is a brief shot of Hanji's glasses breaking, which foreshadows her losing an eye in the third season. In the second ED of the series, there is a shot of Eren being a puppet of his Titan, which foreshadows the influence of the founding and attack Titans on his actions. Erwin asks the Survey Corps recruits if they will die if ordered to do so. He eventually orders most of them to die in a suicide charge, and all of them die except for Flock and Levi's squad. When they are following the female Titan and talking about Levi's squad, Reiner asks Armin, where the hell are they? But when Armin recalls the question after Reiner becomes a suspect, He misremembers it as, "Where the hell is Eren?" The soldier that the female titan sends flying after playing yo-yo can be seen up in the sky. The soldier and the horse that she kicks can also be seen flying high in the sky. The sound blast that Levi fires while being chased by the female titan is meant to let Erwin and the others inside the forest know that the titan shifter is close. Levi says that Eren is a monster because forcing his mind into submission seemed to be impossible. But Eren ends up becoming a real monster by being forced into submission by the powers of the founding and attack titans. After Levi's squad is killed by the female titan, Eren regrets his decision to believe in his fellow soldiers and decides that the right thing to do is believe in himself, which is something that sticks with him and eventually results in the rumbling. After Annie fails to capture Eren, she cries because it will take longer for her to get back home to her father. The badge that Levi gives to console the grieving Survey Corps member is actually Petra's badge. We see military police equipment being sold in the black market. The existence of their equipment in this black market was what enabled Levi to obtain maneuver gear and use it back when he was in the underground. Armin tells Eren his quote of leaving behind humanity to bring about change, which is what Eren ends up doing. When Eren transforms in Stohis, he tells himself he should just get moving and not get caught up in ideals, which is what he is eventually forced to do. The wall devotees are standing in concentric circles like the walls, and their arms are linked to each other just like the colossal titans within the walls. After Eren goes into his rage mode and defeats Annie, he says that he will destroy the world and claims that he is free. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos on details from the rest of the series.